Everyone loves pictures, including me. But there's a big difference between a picture and a portrait, an actual piece of art that you can treasure for a lifetime. Valerie Hoffman is the owner and certified professional photographer of Hoffman Portraits, and she's here to share her beautiful work and her expertise. Valerie, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, I am so enamored by these beautiful pieces of artwork that you brought here. And when we talk about portraits, we're really talking about fine art. Can you tell us the difference between photography, pictures, and portraits?
Well, it is very important, the difference. I have a background in both fine art and photography, and it's always been my goal to bring those together, to create a piece of wall art that just happens to have your family in it. You know, we live in a society today where everybody has a camera on their body, on their smartphone, and the family portraits become a snapshot. So I think the trends are moving back towards more classic portraiture, going back and I get inspiration from some of our famous artists when I go through and I create a portrait.
And I think that's so important that you emphasize the smartphones and the iPhones and the picture-taking devices we have out there, because every picture that you have out there, it may not be, you know, composed correctly. You know, I see food shots all the time that you're like, oh no, that doesn't look good. It's because it hasn't been set up correctly, and that's where a fine arts education, a certified professional photographer comes in. Now, I want you to walk us through some of these pieces because they're absolutely gorgeous. Let's go ahead and start here with the child on the beach, because it is so beautiful.
That's actually from one of my family portrait sessions from this last December. And this little girl was so adorable, and I like to capture those just quiet moments that you get. And I actually take these pieces and I paint them. I have a background, I paint in art and acrylics and watercolor, so I will actually take them and paint them. And then on this particular piece, I will take it and print it on watercolor paper to create the final product. So it actually looks like a piece of art in your home.
Oh my goodness, it is absolutely, it's museum quality.
Yeah. Well, and it's that impressionist style. We live in a beautiful area. The beaches are gorgeous. I bring out those colors, those blues, those golds, those oranges, to create that impressionist style of portrait.
Oh my goodness, that is gorgeous. Now, let's move on to the next piece that you brought here.
Well, the other style I have is a very classic, very traditional. It's more of a Rembrandt style. It's got classic Rembrandt lighting. It's for that more traditional home. It looks beautiful over a fireplace. I add a lot of artist touches to it. We do all of that in-house. I do them personally as the artist, doing the retouching, adding the embellishments on it, so it does become a beautiful piece of artwork.
So if you have a client that says, I like Monet, you would do Impressionist.
Exactly.
And if they like more the classical,
and that's what we do with our clients. We start off with an initial consultation. We sit down with them. We look for what their vision is to how they want to decorate their home, whether it's a traditional or a very modern style.
Oh, I'm a Matisse fan myself.
Oh yes, beautiful, beautiful. And so we work with the client. We advise them on how to dress, how to do their makeup, their hair, what's going to make them, you know, the most beautiful portrait that they're going to enjoy and flatter them.
Well, and let's talk about flattering, because black and white is very flattering, and what we have here too is a beautiful black and white portrait.
That is my classic black and white series. I always say the eyes are the windows to the soul. So, you know, this type of portraiture is wonderful because, you know, the black and whites, the way I do it, it's, you know, you always get, well, I didn't lose that last 10 pounds before I got my portrait taken. So this focuses on the face. It brings everything into the face so that you see the you know, your kids and so.
Now, in this area, so many people are calling themselves photographers these days, but you actually carry the distinction of certified professional photographer. Can you tell us about that and why that's so important?
Yeah, and you know, there's only about a handful of us in all of Southwest Florida. We have to take a 2-hour exam, which covers both the technical and creative side. It's not an easy exam. It covers everything from colors to balance to printing to film. And then we have to have 15 portraits that are submitted to 6 master photographers that have to approve it. Most people don't pass. There's quite a few that'll come forward to do it, but they can't get through the exam or the image presentation. So it's important when you're going out and you're making an investment in a piece of wall art. You want to hire someone that's going to light you properly, that's going to pose you properly for the most flattering image. So it is important to find a certified professional photographer.
Absolutely. If you're going to invest in that, you want to invest in the
exactly.
best.
And you're going to look at it for many years to come on your wall.
Oh.
So, you know, you want to admire it every time you're kids and enjoy them.
Well, we have one more piece of artwork that you've completed, and that is, this one comes alive. It just kind of pops, and it's for the sports fan or the energetic person in all of us. Tell us about this one.
Well, you know, high school seniors don't want the traditional portrait anymore. They don't want that graduation portrait. So this is my way of illustrating their inner self. I do a lot of this on green screen in my studio, and then I start compositing and creating the art piece that reflects the student's personality, whether it be baseball, football, swimming, music, dance. I take all of those and bring them together so they have something that they'll enjoy. And then I take that and I actually print those on metallic paper, which makes those colors and the iridescence pop in it.
Okay, and when we're going to show the family portrait, because it's really important that everyone understands that beyond just taking the picture, there's an actual process that goes into finishing this. Tell us about that.
So many people want a beach portrait here. So when I go out to the beach, I actually bring studio lights with me, so everybody gets lit properly. I spend a lot of time posing them. This particular one, I believe there were about 22 people.
Oh my goodness,
so it was
22.
quite interesting to get them all together. But afterwards, we go in, I finish it up. They get to see their portrait. I have software that I can superimpose it on the wall in their home, so they can decide size and framing. All the retouching is done, and then I add artist embellishments to create the wall art. We do everything in-house, so even the framing is selected in our studio so that it is a piece of art that you would enjoy. In our wall art pieces, many of these, we actually have them printed on paper, and then the emulsion is pulled off the paper and embedded into 100% cotton linen canvas, and then they're hand glazed. So they will last a lifetime.
Quality, fine art. Well, Valerie Hoffman, certified professional photographer, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
If you would like more information about Valerie and her contact info, visit our website at fox4morningblend.com. Up next, rev up your remote controls for our new series hosted by racing icon Ray Evernham. He gives us the green light on his new TV series, Americana.